Tuples and sets are really interesting data structures in Python. Tuples are used to create variables which can hold multiple values. So for example, if you want to hold values related to the latitude and longitude of various locations in variables, then you can use tuples for that. When it comes down to sets are the data structures which don't hold any duplicate values. So sets are particularly useful in mathematics when you are trying to save, say, prime numbers or natural numbers. So in mathematical operations, sets are really useful. Hi, my name is Rohit, and in today's video, we are going to cover Python sets and tuples in detail. Let's get started. Tuple is a data structure in Python which is ordered and unchangeable. So what that means is we can access the elements in tuple using the index. And if you can see here, if you want to declare a tuple, we have to use round brackets. So we are declaring a tuple, data tuple, and we are writing 4 elements in that, and we are declaring it using a round bracket. And then we are just printing the values in tuple and what kind of data type it has. So if you see here, we are able to print the tuple, and if we check the data type of variable data tuple, it is tuple because we are declaring it as a tuple data. Then tuple is an ordered data set or ordered data structure. So it means that we can access the values in tuple using the index. So at index 0 in this particular tuple, the value stored is data. So that's why we are able to access it using index. One important property that you should remember about the Python tuples is they are unchangeable. So if you want to change the element data to say engineer, and then we try to overwrite the value at the index using this logic, data tuple at index 0 is equal to engineer, this is not going to work because in tuple we are not allowed to change the values. So we were doing something like this in list, if you remember, but in tuple the values are unchangeable. We are not able to change the values once they are created. Then in case if you want to update the tuple, right, there is a workaround. I mean, it's not a recommended workaround, but suppose there is some requirement, then you would have to convert your tuple to the list first. So here we are converting our tuple to the list using list function. And then once you convert it to the list, you would be able to change the value using the index. So at index 0, we are writing the value engineer. Then we are again converting back that list to the tuple using tuple function. And then we are printing the tuple and the length of it using the len function. So if you see here, now we are able to add value engineer in the tuple. But for that, we had to convert the tuple to the list. This is not recommended because if you want to change values in certain data structure, right, then first of all, only you should go with the list data structure. But this is just an example in case you want to know about workaround of changing values within tuple. Then you can add items to the tuple. So new values can be added to the tuple. So suppose we have our data tuple, and to that we want to add one more value. The value is say maths. So in that case, what we can do is we can just create a new tuple, and then we can use the addition operator in Python, and what it would do is it would add this new value to our original tuple. So maths is getting added at the end of tuple, if you see here. So this is how you can add values to the tuple. You cannot remove the items or the values that are inserted in tuple. So for that also, again, you need to convert the tuple to the list. So here, this is our original tuple. We are converting it to list first. And then after converting that tuple to the list, we are removing the particular value. So in list, we can remove the value based on the particular value that we want to remove. So here we want to remove science. So we are just passing science to the remove function. So this is the name of our list because we converted tuple to the list over here. And to that we are passing the value science. So this would remove value science from our list. And then we are again converting back our list to tuple using the tuple function. And then if we print the tuple, you can see here data machine learning. So we are able to remove science. But for doing that, we had to convert our tuple to the list. Again, if you have a requirement of a data structure where you want to remove some values, ideally don't go ahead with tuple. You can start with list itself so that you don't have to go through these workarounds. because tuples are preferred when you need to create a data which doesn't need to be changed. Then you can also iterate over a tuple using a for loop. So for that, what you have to do is for x in data tuple, and then we are just printing the value of x over here. So if you see here, if we iterate over this tuple, we are able to see values data, machine, and then learning. So this is how we can iterate over a tuple. Now the next data structure in Python is sets. So set is a data structure which is unordered. So this means that we won't be able to access the elements in set using index like we were doing in case of list and tuple. And the values in set are unchangeable. So we cannot change the values in set, but we can remove and add new items. So that operation is permitted. That's why I have added star over here. So when we declare any new set, we have to declare it using curly brackets. So we are declaring a new set data set, and we are declaring it using curly brackets, as you can see here. And these are the 4 values which we are keeping in that particular set. One other thing to remember about set is set won't hold duplicate values. Okay. So here we are creating a set, then we are printing the values in that particular set. And if we check the type of variable data set, right, we can see here the variable is of class set because we have created a set here by using the curly brackets. Now, if we create a new set in which there is, say, a duplicate value, so science is coming 2 times in this particular set. So we have created this set, and then if we print this set, you can see here that we are able to see only one occurrence of science because the duplicate occurrence of science is automatically handled by set. Because set can hold only unique values, it would never hold duplicate values. So that's why here we can see that the set which we have created is actually holding only unique values. So remember that set would never hold duplicate values. Then as set is an unordered data structure, we would not be able to access the elements in set using index. So if we do data set and then value at index 0, this won't work because set is unordered data structure. So remember this as well. Then if you want to iterate over set, we can use a for loop for that. So what we are doing here, we are just writing a logic for value in data set print value. So we are just iterating over this set one by one. So if you see here, the values that are printed are science, machine, data, and learning. So we are printing the values one by one from this particular set. Then we can also add items to the set. So suppose we have this set which has 4 items, and to it we want to add new item. Then we can use add method, which is the default method implemented within the set data structure in Python. So this is the name of our variable, which is data set. Then dot, the function name, which is add, and to it we are passing the value which needs to be added. So in this case it is maths. So after adding the value, if we print the set, we can see here the value maths is added in this data set. So as set is a unordered data structure, we cannot say at which position this value would get added in the set because set is a unordered data structure. Then we can also add 2 sets. Suppose we have a first set over here and we have a second set which has 3 elements, and if you want to add these 2 sets, right, to create a new set which contains all the elements of these 2 sets, then we can use a update method. So data set, the name of our set variable, dot, the function name, which is update, and to it we are passing the new set, machine set, which needs to be added. So if we print then the overall set, so this addition would occur into data set, and then if we print the data set variable, we can see here the new set that is created is having the elements from both the sets. Again, as set is unordered, we cannot define the way in which after this addition, the order of the elements should be defined. So there is no defined order in set. That's why we see that the elements are kind of getting added together randomly. Then we can also remove particular item from set. So suppose we have declared a new set here, and from that we want to remove the value machine, right? Then we can use the remove function in set. So we are declaring a variable data set and using a dot operator, and then calling a remove function, and to it we are passing value machine which we want to remove. So this would remove machine from our set. So if we print the set now, you can see here we are getting only science, data and learning, and machine is removed from this particular set. We can also use pop method for removing the elements from the set, but as the order of the set is not defined, right? Set is an unordered data structure. So we don't know which element it would remove, which element is at the end, because pop removes the last element. But this is not, I would say, the right method to remove the element from set, because it can remove any random element. So here if we are doing dataset.pop, it removed science from the set, and we end with data and learning. So if you operate or if you apply pop operation on set, it would just remove one random value from your set. That's it for today. In next video, we are going to cover some programming questions related to Python sets and tuples. If you have any problems in understanding Python sets and tuples, let me know in the comments. I would be happy to help you. Keep coding in Python and keep learning. I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.